Hello, hello, hello. We
Good
are,
evening.
yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
Good
Good
evening,
evening.
man.
Uh, so unlucky 13, right? Baker's dozen.
Baker's dozen. I like to say that. Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
I
Yep.
don't want to
Yeah.
consider it is not Friday the 13th, it's Saturday the 25th. So at least we're not
Did you think we would get to 13? I mean, 13 doesn't sound like a lot. Like, like Cheers celebrated their 100th show kind of, after how many seasons, but 13, it's a lot. And coming out of an idea of like, hey, dude, do you want to get together and talk about courses?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a very informal thing that has turned into something else that has kind of ballooned up here, right?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Well,
It's
first of all,
fun.
let's welcome Kraizzed. It's Kraizzed, right? I keep on want to say Kraizzed, but it's
Yeah,
Kraizzed.
it's crazed. Yeah,
Okay.
it's fine.
Give us the
It's,
background. Where's it come from?
I
Background of your
know,
name.
I know. Like in
the
college,
background
I had a girlfriend that I called Crazy. So,
well,
but
there's been a few of
No,
those.
no
But
comment.
yeah, it's I don't know. It was an old gamer tag I had when I played Halo, years and years, Halo, StarCraft.
All right. Yeah.
Basically, just
Yeah.
online gaming. It was a tag that created, and it's followed me ever since. So
I
even
fragged you
to
so
this
many
day,
times.
it's a
Jeez.
possibility.
Take it to a
Yep.
room.
If you played Halo, then
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sure
I
we
know.
ran into each other.
I
I
played
did.
Halo back in the
Yep.
day. That was a while ago. Yeah.
I think we all did, didn't we?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I still play a lot of Bungie games every now and again. So
I will admit I have a group of guys that our clan is Tuesday Night Live, and because we play every Tuesday. And
nice.
we raid in Halo, not in Halo, sorry, Destiny 2.
Yep.
And we do all the new expansion stuff, and we raid every Tuesday night religiously. And it's a great group. We all used to work together at one point, and over the past 10 years, we've all gone different directions. But yeah, so I still play.
Yep.
Sweet.
I play it as well. Yep.
Sweet.
We have crazed here because we're
Crazed.
going to
Yep.
talk about. There's been some changes with the beta process. So we're going to talk about that at the end of the show. Get him involved.
Good.
But first thing we got to do. Come on, gentlemen. What you got? What you got?
Oh,
What
the
you got?
drinks.
So let's start with the guest. Guest goes first. Go ahead.
Gas goes first.
It's just a Canadian whiskey. The ice is melted now, but just a Ryan Coke, basically.
Oh, it's in Coke. I was going to hold that up. That
Yeah,
does not
it's
look
in
like
Coke.
whiskey.
That's a dark whiskey.
No,
I
it
thought was
is.
like,
It's a
yes,
dark
yeah.
whiskey. Yeah, it's mixed with a little bit of Coke, but it's melted down a little bit. So, but yeah, that's what I'm having tonight.
And then everybody looks forward to hear what Mashie's drinking, right? So,
I'm gonna hopefully not disappoint folks. Apparently, like a lot of folks like to hear about bourbon, and I will tease. I do have some really really good bourbon stuff coming up in future. Probably the next episode and the one before. I've been actually queuing up various bourbons to bring to the show, and so some will be here in time for the next recording that we do. I'm in a completely different direction. As most or some of y'all know, I was on vacation last week and spent the week with my family in the Caribbean, and the on Grand Cayman for a week. And so I'm still in the Caribbean mode. I was actually in the water yesterday, and now I'm home and
wait.
snowed last night.
Do we need to cue
We need some Caribbean music, Steve.
The steel drums or something?
Yep, cue up some steel drums, some Caribbean spring break music, and I think we need a little bit of that in the background. We're talking about my drink. So I brought home a whole swath of Caribbean rum.
A swath.
Oh, very
A
nice.
Wow, how much is in a
yes,
swath? What's a swath of
it's
rum?
it's like I have a bottle of. You'll be proud of me. I have a bottle of Gold, all Tortuga, by the way, because I love to say Tortuga. The whole week I was there, I kept saying Tortuga.
my Jack, Sparrow. I don't know, it's him a little rum. I just wanted to
like
show him.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Just get on and get some golf courses.
Run will be proud. We went to hell. Rusty Dave will be proud. We went to Rum Point. We did all the good stuff. But I brought back a bottle of Gold, a bottle of mango, a bottle of coconut rum, a bottle of spiced rum, a bottle of light rum, I literally have 7 bottles of rum that I brought back with me. I brought a suitcase just for the rum that I want to bring back. And so tonight, in the spirit of wanting to still be here in the Caribbean, I have made my own concoction, my own version of a kind of a ginger beer and rum. What do they call that? It's a ginger beer and dark rum. It's
Is
No,
that
it's not a
stormy?
mule.
dark and stormy.
yeah.
Yeah. So I did my version of a dark and stormy, and it's a mix of a couple of those different rums with some ginger beer and some lime, a little bit of lemon, kind of give me that kind of Caribbean theme still.
Man,
So that's
so now we're
Very
bourbon,
nice.
beer, biomes, rum, and cigars.
pretty much.
There you go.
Pretty much.
I need a new graphic.
Yep. And it's mighty tasty. I'm on my 3rd and 3 hours sleep, so who knows where the show is
Oh
going.
boy. I have another local micro. It's a Trogs
Ooh.
Sunshine Pilsner. So I am trying to
Ooh.
get into the warmer weather spirit with a Sunshine.
I see
Pils.
that.
Nice.
You can see it. Unlike last week in the Irish show, you
Yeah.
can see your hand through it as you were holding the glass.
Yes, it's a very light. I love it. It's usually you put a lemon in it.
Yeah.
Really good beer. Yeah, so I got a keg of that.
Love. I'm not a huge beer guy, but I do like that kind. I like a wheat, or I like a light pilsner with a lemon in it. Kind of going into summer, you know.
Yep. And I finished
Good.
my indoor golf league is done. I am not the champion. I ended up in 4th place out of 11.
But did you win enough to do our production, to pay for our production manager for the next few shows?
I did actually make out because so we do like a team thing every night in addition to like the season thing, and we also do like a low net individual. And I did win low net for the final week, and I did win my team. My partner and I won team, so I actually walked away with a decent amount of money on the last night.
Nice.
Congratulations.
So Steve will get paid this week.
And
Yes.
what course were y'all playing on the last night?
We'll save that for later. Speaking of courses, shall we proceed?
Speaking of courses,
Shall we proceed?
go.
All right, let's give this a go.
As we go in, what were our guesses? Who's got? I'm 2-0 on the bet. Do we remember last week's bets?
I don't even remember. Did we even come up with guesses last? I don't think we put numbers down.
I thought we put guesses down at the end. I thought I said 12 again.
I thought you guys were pretty high for your guesses.
Yeah.
I thought I was.
I don't remember now.
Yeah, I don't remember now. We're gonna have to make that more of an official thing.
We are. As a matter of fact, we might need to put some prizes behind it. Like, something really goofy that you got to wear on the show when you lose again, since I seem to be the course whisperer when it comes to the number of courses.
All right. Well,
let's go.
What do we got here? So we have what was the total count this week? Was it 10?
10. Kind of 10.
Yeah, this is
more
the week
like
of
7.
This is the week of kinda. The week of
It's
kinda.
kinda 10.
It's gonna be a theme
let's
for the
put it
show.
this way.
We're kinda doing a golf show.
I'm gonna say it this way. It's 7 and a blue potato.
7 and a blue potato.
It's 7 and a blue potato, and y'all will get that in a second. So that's what it's going to be. 7 and a blue potato. So not a full 10.
I don't know if
I don't know if you get it. Can you put us on the bottom there?
Not really.
And Discord, you suck.
Yeah,
Oh,
maybe.
maybe.
There we go.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go. That's good.
So we got
That's
Twin, the club, the Twin at Club, the Twins at the club. That's a completely different place.
That is the back. That is the other club at the target range, the target golf range. Yep. The Twins.
Wow.
The Twins are there.
Allentown, Pennsylvania, actually not far from me, and I've never heard of this close. I mean, that's an hour and a half away, so I wasn't surprised. But the club, gosh, at Twin Lakes,
Made famous by Billy Joel in Allentown, right?
Yes, yep. By Jay Pruitt. We got the Preston Country Club, which I keep wanting to say County Club, but it's the Country Club.
I keep saying County Club as well.
Yeah.
Like Counting Crows, County Club. I want
to say like Preston County, but yeah, that by Jeff Carter. Ottercreek.
Jeff's got what, 2, 3?
Oh yeah, let me look at my notes
we write it
here.
down?
So we have Jay Pruitt. This is like his 7th.
Yeah, he's like gold,
Yeah.
isn't he? Gold now.
Gold. He's gold in them hills.
He's gold. He's gold.
Jeff Carter. This is his 3rd. This is his 3rd. He had Mystic Rock and the Pines Country Club, right?
Yep.
And I have to say, so like, and then you look at Jay Pruitt, and this guy's cranking out like one a week. His first was January 28th, and he's had 7 since then. So it's like
Wow.
one a week. How do you do that? How
Hey, get a girl.
Yeah.
They're not married.
Yeah,
Not
he's not
married, no
married.
kids.
Yeah, he's exactly no
married.
kids, not married, pumping out courses.
Not pumping out kids, he's pumping out courses.
He's pumping out courses.
And then we have
Jay, you know we love you. Friend of the show, we know we love you.
all good. We have Ottercreek Golf Club by the island of Dr. Moreau.
Oh, I get it.
Do you get it?
Yep,
Moreau
nice one.
22.
Do
Yeah,
you think that's it? Maybe
yeah.
it's not. Could be his name, but I'm just waiting for on this course for some inbred weird people to walk out of the woods and take a golf ball. Right?
The problem is this guy. The guy's name is probably like Tony Moreau,
Yeah, or you just gonna be pissed at us now.
and he's like 6'4", 310. And he's like, dude, the hell.
And
Right.
it's his first course too, so we're just we're not doing it. It's just like, oh God, here we go.
There's hate mail coming. If you have hate mail, Moreau, send it to Masta. It's not me. It's him. It's all him.
My family's in danger.
MacGruber's back.
Yes, MacGruber.
He duct tape and swizzled and Swiss knife together in a couple new courses.
Yeah, so one is a championship course, and the other one's a local 9. So I think they're in the same Becker, Minnesota. So they're all part of this same complex.
I think it's the same 9.
Oh, you think it's the same 9?
Oh,
No, I'm kidding. I
Oh.
don't think it's the same.
Jeez,
same name.
same name.
He just took the front 9 and made a 9-hole course out of it and said, I got 2 for 1.
And then we got 3 by Blue Potato, which I think is each one of these. It's a 27-hole course, and what he did is he combined the 9s together into 3 different 18-hole competitions or combinations. So you've got Dove Mountain Wild Burrito Tortilla, you've got Dove Mountain Wild Burrito Sangria, and you've got Dove Mountain Sangria Tortilla. So
I'd like to introduce, by the way, a new segment, which is going to be our new sponsor segment. So we need sponsor music. This segment, the Dove Mountain segment, is sponsored by Taco Bell, because I can't say any of these damn courses without thinking about a quesadilla, a burrito,
Sangria.
I mean, every time I say Dove Mountain Wild Burrito Tortilla, I hear bing, the gong in the background from the Taco Bell commercials every single time. I love it. I just
Marana,
can't get enough
Arizona,
of
and
it.
get your don't forget to do your stuff your Blue Potato.
I mean, so thank you, Taco Bell, for being our newest sponsor to the show. And
I gotta add
Dove
the bell dongs.
You
Dong.
gotta add the dong every time. It's cool.
Hey!
Oh my
Okay.
goodness, I love it. I love it. Thank you, Blue Potato,
I
friend
should
of
have
the
made
show.
a sangria.
Yes, we should have all sangria. Now we add that to the name too, right?
Exactly.
And a treat and Golfton Austin Club by Austin
How was
Golf
that?
Club.
How's that Pilsner treating you?
One more. I could do no more. And
Hmm.
then the Amana Colonies Golf Club by LT Banner. Mashie, how many courses do you have?
18, 19, something like that.
Jeez,
I
okay.
stopped counting.
You're like getting up.
This one was a weird one, and we'll talk about it, I'm sure. I'm my own biggest critic, and so
Yeah, we'll get into that.
I'm sure you've got a fair thing to talk about, but
I'm going to be your biggest critic now.
Yeah, you're gonna be my biggest critic today. Appreciate that. Thank you.
And LT Banner's got quite a few too. I mean, he's got to
does,
be up
yeah.
there as well. He's like the silent guy who just churns out courses, right? So let's get into these. So Ottercreek was something that it was one of the first courses I looked at this week.
Another Canadian course.
Another Canadian course. 300 acres. It says encompassing 300. Is that a lot for a golf course? Is 300 acres a lot? I don't think it is. Is it? Is it?
I don't know.
So you think if they're bragging about it and say 300 acres would be a lot for a course, but who knows?
I'm going to use the Google machine while you're looking that up. I'm going to look up
How many acres is Austin compared to Austin, right?
I don't know. Yeah.
Good comparison.
by the island of Dr. Moreau. Here we go. So first tee box here. So it could be a custom skybox. That does not look familiar to me.
That would be custom. Yep.
Okay, thought so. Now the first thing I thought here is I like the grasses that I'm seeing here, but then something popped out to me, which was in the distance. Are you guys seeing this too?
Yep.
Yes.
The trees, the billboards. There
The
are some minty
Yeah.
trees out there, right?
Well, and there's two things to look for. There are the minty trees. They're minty fresh. I looked
Yes.
at them and instantly my breath was like, I feel great, right? My wife wanted to kiss me. But there's also some yellowish kind of trees to the left of the minty trees, and
Yeah.
they're popping a little bit weird, and you'll see in a few other screenshots. So yes, I
Yeah.
noticed that on the first
mint
tee.
pulls my eyes first, but yeah, the other ones
but
are
then
there.
the other one kind of brings you back. Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
It was a
Yeah.
little distracting, and the hues that I'm seeing out here don't seem to match what I'm seeing up close, right?
For the record, Austin Country Club or Austin Golf Club, as I named it, which is the wrong name because that's the French entry, blah 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 blah, is 120 acres. So, and
so
Okay.
300 is a lot then. Wow.
and
It's
I
a lot.
looked up the average acreage of a golf course can be somewhere between 150 and 220 is what
Wow.
Google says is the average. So yes, 300 and something is
Is a
big.
lot.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Size
Thanks for
matters.
that little tidbit there.
Yeah.
So I did like what he did here with the grasses.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
another thing that I noticed here when I flew up was I looked at this and I thought, man, I got some hard lines here, and we got a big stark difference here between what we're seeing on fairway and what we're seeing off, and it didn't seem to blend as much as I had hoped. But then after seeing the description, it made me want to do a little bit of research on the course. So I did look at the course, and now
Yeah.
the first thing I'm going to say is this picture, the course does not look just like this because this is way oversaturated. For photographers, I want to strangle them. They take these pictures and they immediately turn up the saturation because people like saturation, it attracts. So it's not this green, but I just wanted to point out here, just as, hey, when you do your satellite shader, drag it out, blend it out further, right? And make that transition from green to that brown. I think you're close color-wise. Maybe tone down that brown and maybe a little bit less yellow. So let me go back here. And then just take this line that you see here, and then it just needs to be pushed out a little bit. I'm not saying move your spline out, but just be a little bit less, have a little bit more of a transition with your stat shader, right?
Yep.
And then another thing I would say is maybe just insert a little bit more trees out here just to kind of break up that, oops, getting ahead of myself, just break out the emptiness of that hole. But overall, this
really
course
nice,
is really good, especially for a first done course. So I'm just trying to get some things advice. So I was hooked. So after I went out and I saw this course actually seems really popular, and there's one signature hole which I'll talk about here at the end. But then this is another hole that seemed to be popular because I found a lot of snapshots of this. So here's the picture of the hole. What I would say here is I think you tried to carry out the brown of the other holes into here, where this course is actually really green. Okay. So don't be afraid to give this course the lushness that I think it really deserves here. And don't be afraid to give it those bold mow lines that you see here too. I think this is a really cool hole. And I think you captured the trees extremely well here. I mean, that looks pretty darn close.
The trees look great.
The trees
Love
look
the trees there.
I love how even he must have seen this picture, because he even went as far to even try to put like a thinned out tree out here as well, which is pretty cool. Well done.
I agree. I agree. I think the one thing, and I agree with you, I think if you go back, or you can stay here, it doesn't matter. Well, actually, go back one to the no, sorry, go forward one. No, go back one. No, right here. Sorry. Yes, for this course, I agree wholeheartedly on the mow lines, especially on the rough. Like this have some fun with it, right?
Yeah.
I will say the one thing that I like about this too is while there is while there are mow lines, in the fairways, they're much more subtle and much lighter. And I've seen some courses where if you're going to do both, put mow lines on the rough and the fairway, they make them all the same.
Yep.
and it becomes too much, too crisscross. This is
Yeah.
great. I would
Yes.
leave them off the fairway. I would stick some big bold mow lines on the rough and have fun with it.
Yeah. Especially here, if you could do like the big bold ones in the rough like he has. But if you do them in the fairway, make them an opposite direction and
Opposite
make them really
direction.
washed out like they are here. Like
Yep.
they're just barely visible, right?
Like a 2 opacity on your
Yes.
stuff, and you'll see them there
Yep.
barely, but and then put these like at 6 opacity and the big bold on the and they'll be great.
Yeah. And you could do like the I forget what the concurrent mow
Yep.
lines around the outside here, blend them all
Yep.
in. Have
Yep.
fun with it. I thought his hazards were really well done on this course. They were just like in the perfect spots. He had a wide variety of trees, a wide variety of biomes. Like,
Yep.
so this hole, I
Yep.
think I can move forward. So this hole looks
Yep.
like it's primarily like a pine evergreen hole. And then you come here, which is 18, and it's completely different. It's like a deciduous, and the pictures that I saw, here they are. It is different. And so he
Yeah.
really did a great job of capturing the differences between these holes. So he obviously did a lot of research here. He probably plays the course. I'm having fun with this at this point. Don't change it, but that looks like the world's most dangerous golf cart bridge right there. Okay, there's no railings on the side, and I think the reason he did that is because maybe at this point on the course you've had such a bad round, you're just going to throw yourself off of it, right?
Yeah, from a designer standpoint, it could be like, I'm done. I've been screwing around with this course for 6 months. I'm done. I'm putting the damn bridge in, and I'm done with it.
You can see it's not quite as arched there. I just thought it was kind of entertaining that he did that.
But go back to the actual, again, big bold mow lines on the rough.
Yes.
Love that. That looks so good going up to that clubhouse.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, nice job on the clubhouse.
Yep.
Yes.
Nice job in the clubhouse.
Yep. Yeah. Guys, you don't need to get crazy with capturing every window, every awning, the chimney.
Yep.
It's what he did was frankly just good enough, right? Which is fine. I think Mashie, you threw this one in here, right?
This was the same. It's not really a critique. It's something to watch for. Is the billboarding. The two things I noticed is the trees seem to. And it could have been my machine because I noticed it on more than one course today. But the trees seem to be billboarding pretty close. Actually, I had to go pretty close in to get this line to even show. And this is really not about the coloration difference between the non-billboard and the billboard of trees. It was more the speckliness, the black speckliness. That's what I was seeing off in the distance. I don't know what's causing that, in all honesty. I actually have never seen that.
I think it's specular. So when you
Could
do
be
your adjust your
specular.
billboards in VS Pro, you've got your usually you only have to adjust the brightness. Make the brightness a little bit darker. But usually the specular, and I don't know if it's specular or there's another metallic in there or whatever, they're usually not much on them. I just think it's a little bit too much in this case.
Yeah.
But his colors aren't too far off.
No, colors look pretty good. Yeah. So it really wasn't a knock on the colors. And then the only other thing I was just to watch out for was so the hard line, we already talked about that, and V4 will make hard lines a little bit easier to deal with the blending. And you are carrying the sat shader over from the fairway into the rough, which I like. I like that blending. But when you put your 3DG on, go a little closer, you're not using sat shading on the 3DG. And so when you get closer, like this was I took the shot because my ball was in the grass there, and it stood out. You can see, if you look in the distance, you can see almost like the speckliness of the darker grass pieces versus the ground color of the ground and everything. So if you use a sat shader on the 3DG, it'll blend in. That will also help your blending from your rough into your fairway as well versus the hard line. So
now
just something to look for.
Now I did think I think he had to dial back the 3DG density because he went really heavy with his trees and his grass, not his 3DG, other grasses. So I think he was fighting some performance issues, so had to dial back on the 3DG. And I thought I had pictures of the 18th hole in here. I must have either skipped them somehow, but here's the bunker. His 18th hole in this course was absolutely amazing. It was really
great.
Cool. It was a really cool hole. I thought I had screenshots of that bunker though here.
Yeah,
Nice.
I thought the bunker shading was great. I love it off to the right hand side. I just thought it looked really, really well done on the bunker shading. Again, I don't know if it's because the distance is rendering. Most of the bunkers that I saw when I looked at some screenshots of the actual course, most of the bunkers like this are surrounded by rough. And you can see there's a rough spline there. I would love to have seen 3DG sticking. Maybe it's there, and if I got closer, I would have seen it. Maybe it's not rendering out far enough. But no, the shading of the bunker was fantastic.
Yeah. So in the
Yep.
future, just be. Oops. My God, so I'm a
No.
mouse crazy. See this? This is actually a spline border right here.
Yep. Yep.
You got to be careful about these in the future with V4. You want to try to avoid cutting through a
Yep.
bunker like this.
Yep.
So I'm not sure why this particular spline went through in that spot. It's kind of odd place for it, but just be aware of it.
Probably would
conscious
have
of-
made it go all the way around the whole bunker and
Yeah.
then just put rough around it.
as
and
Yep.
as
call it a day.
DPR would say, he would say, don't get so cute.
The magician.
Yes.
Yep.
Do not get cute. He will then do this, and it will break. It will work great.
Preston
Preston
County.
County. No, Preston Country.
Yes, Preston Country Club.
Jeff Carter. So let's talk about Preston County.
So
Hey, it's a wonderful
I've seen this a lot, and I don't. Why are we getting like? Why doesn't this say white? There's another.
I
one
don't
that-
know.
So
Blue
what's going on
Potato's
with
got
that?
one where his red one doesn't say red. It's
Yeah.
got dots in it. I don't know.
Yeah.
GS Pro thing?
No,
Green-
it's got to be.
I would
It's
say
got to be green.
Greenkeeper,
Yeah, it's got to be Greenkeeper.
Greenkeeper thing?
Yeah.
possibly, maybe.
Hey, let me ask you this. Were you using the new version of Greenkeeper like I
Every
was?
time.
Maybe that's why. Maybe it's some
Well,
of the new version of
Two.
Greenkeeper.
Well, you mean by 2.10 is not released yet, right? That's still beta.
Yeah,
So
but maybe
2.04 is the newest GA, right?
right, but 2.10, the one that has the stuff for head to range and the performance metrics in it.
But it wouldn't spit this out. This has to come from their Greenkeeper, I would imagine.
Yes.
Oh, you're right. Oh, duh. You're right. Oh,
Yeah.
well, I was thinking since I took the screenshot, maybe, and I loaded it in Greenkeeper to
well.
get the screenshot, maybe.
Oh,
maybe.
you did.
mm,
You really.
I
I was gonna
pulled
say, yeah,
this in
if it's your
Greenkeeper.
if it's your
Oh.
version of Greenkeeper versus their screenshot in the course folder.
Yeah, I did
Ah.
not pull their screenshot from the course folder. I actually pulled this in Greenkeeper, and I'm using the
So-
unreleased version. So maybe that is the
As
process.
as we progress through here, I have this scorecard locally on my machine. I'll pull that up while you talk.
Okay, cool. So first off, let's go back real quick if you could to the or you're pulling it up, so we'll talk. I thought it's a good course. Like it's from a golf perspective. I always try to look at these things from two lenses. One is a designer lens and one is a golf lens because golfer. And like we all are. And from a golf perspective, I thought it was a really good course. It was pretty open. There wasn't anything super crazy on it. There wasn't any crazy elevation. I thought it was a fun course to play. You can come out here, you can swing really hard, and not worry about too much stuff
look
to
at
worry
that.
about. Just a little bit.
So this is the one out of his course folder. So that we found a bug in 2.10.
We found a
Bug in
bug in
2.1.
2.1. There we go.
There you go.
There we go.
We'll have to let John know.
We'll let John know.
Okay.
Yep. So, but from a design perspective, there's some things to work on. And they're not major, but they will, I think, make some pretty good updates to the course. First off, tree blocking. This is number one. We always try to grab a shot from number one, looking out on the course and from the back tees. And as you can see, there's trees blocking your way. Don't forget, always play your course from the back tees and make sure you don't have any trees blocking your.
At a minimum,
views.
just cycle through. It takes 2 minutes. Load up in practice mode, and you can hit the 0 key and bang, bang, bang. You can go through all 18 holes in about a minute. Just check them out. Yep.
So this course is interesting. It's the first course, maybe I think I've ever seen that has no 3DG on it.
Yeah, right.
I noticed somebody had posted in Discord that they submitted a course and forgot the been able to 3DG on it. I thought it was this one, but then Kraizzed was telling me earlier in pre-show that it was not this one. So I don't know if Jeff like forgot to put it on or did and it didn't. I don't know what, but there's no 3DG.
How does that happen?
And it is, I don't know.
How does that happen?
It is Chad's favorite. Cook's favorite thing in the world, I don't know if Cook watches our show or not, because he's a pretty busy guy, but he'll agree. His favorite thing in the world is seeing a golf ball in GS Pro sitting on a 2D surface without any 3DG. He loves that better than anything. So
You can't post a picture of 3D grass without his radar going off. He just knows.
Exactly. He knows. So as a result of not having any 3DG, the performance is great. I'm at 132 frames per second here on this one. It was off the charts on my machine. I would dial your fairway back. It's a little green. I think
minty.
you're a little minty green. We have a theme going on. We got some minty trees at Ottertown or Otter. I forgot the name.
Ottercreek.
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 And
Yes.
a little minty fresh here.
I knew we brought Kraizzed on here for a reason. Just keeping us in line.
Exactly. Keep us in line. So tone that down a little bit. If I would recommend, if you would, we can go on to the next screenshot as well. This course has mow lines on the rough. By the way, we just got done talking about big, bold mow lines, and I think mow lines in the rough are great.
Well, I think this is a course we referred to earlier that's got look at the mini map here, right? It looks like a peppermint, like piece.
They all go the same way
across the whole course. Yep.
Yeah, it's interesting. And so, cool. But let's, I'd vary my direction of the mow lines a bit. I pulled this one just to really show some contrast between the fairway color versus the green color versus the rough color.
And the thing is, I don't notice the fairways like that until I do a flyover. Then it's really noticeable. But until I do a flyover, so that's really do flyover of your holes too. You'll see things from a different perspective.
I notice it playing because I find like things that distract my eye. Okay. This color this palette distracted my eye on the course. Like the green was bright and the fairway was green and the rough was green. So anyway, so just showing them, just to dial in the hues a little bit. So the hues are all kind of in the same area and same genre.
I would almost say that you'd want, I'm assuming that this is fairway in the back, right?
Yeah, that's fairway right there.
I would almost assume that you would want this color green in the fairway and this color at the fairway more like the rough.
Maybe, but I actually think if they literally toned the rough down off of the green more towards the grayscale and use the natural colorization that they were trying to go for instead of augmenting it with the green hue, it'll end up being fine.
It just looks to me like in this picture that the fairway's dried out, which is usually not the case.
No, I agree, but I also think the fairway looks dried out because the rough looks so green. True. I think if you dial the rough back, it's all going to blend a lot better.
Yeah.
There was some interesting tree choices. It may be like this in the course in real life. You had some kind of evergreen pines, and you had some kind of broadleafs, and you had some kind of maples, and you had some kind of colors. And listen. I don't care what tree choice you use, but
except for that damn oak tree with the big giant leaves.
And what's the the one maple that kind of glows in the dark that's not here. But they just color wise, like dial them in. They're over. The green is way oversaturated. The brown is just too brown. It looks like. I would just make them natural. Those colors are not, in my opinion, they're not colors you really find in nature.
Yeah.
And I would dial those colors in a little bit. I also took this screenshot to look at the billboarding. They built, for some reason, again, this is another course that, for me at least, things were billboarding early. So you can see there's a fairway or another hole on the other side of that screenshot, and they were already billboarding in. And like here, the colors aren't bad. I can tell you were working on dialing in the billboard, so I can tell you doing it. But you can clearly see the line and the difference between what is billboard and what's not, and how early it is. So some areas to tweak.
And I would say if you're going to make a mistake in billboarding, make it on the darker side rather than the lighter side.
Yep.
I agree.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Should I stay on that one?
No, you're good. No, most of the rest of the stuff that I had, again, it plays really well. I had zero issues with colliders. Zero issues with any balls hitting, none lies, zero issues with getting stuck in trees, no wood, none of that. From a course playability perspective, it played perfectly fine. I would tone your car paths down. And again, I took this screenshot. I was literally,
I wear my
I was on,
sunglasses. You gotta
I
wear my
was on the tee
sunglasses.
boxes, and I was a little blinded. You can, you know, you can see the halo. You can see the glow off the cart path, right
It's
there where
brighter than the
they
sky. It's
cross.
brighter than the skybox.
They're-
It's brighter than the skybox.
They are
Yeah.
radioactive
So,
cart paths.
Yeah.
and by the way, it was distracting as a golfer sitting in the sim trying to go hit my shot here. I was like, wow, that was really bright, you know. So so anyway, just heads up on that. I would tone that down a little bit. A couple other small suggestions more than anything. If you go on to the next one, listen. I love there's a prison there. Has to be. That's a barbed wire fence with a thing. And
Shawshank.
I've done. If you
Shawshank.
go play Fossil Trace, and as you come up on hole number 9 on Fossil Trace, there is a youth correctional facility along the course, and I use that exact same fence. So I know you've got Auto Fence Builder because that's an Auto Fence Builder fence. So you're buying assets. So if you're buying assets, buy 3DG. I'm assuming you just forgot it.
There's that damn oak tree I was just talking about.
There's the damn oak tree you're talking about. But like this is right along a couple of holes. This is coming up the north side, I think it was, of the course, and there's like 2 holes that go alongside this. I think it's a correctional facility of some kind.
Yeah.
Like it needs a little more detail, in my opinion.
Yeah, if it's
The
that close
satellite
to the
imagery
side,
looked
I
at.
mean, you can, even if it's like barren in real life, which I can't imagine it is, put a couple trees in there or something, and you can have Art Dyer make a shiv or something that you can just kind of put next to the fence.
You need like a playground, like a basketball hoop is out, and
A
you know,
broken one, you know,
ten,
maybe
tennis
an
court so
an
they can
outside
play
gym with
forget
some
their
barbells.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. And then last, a couple of small critiques or small things to look for. And this is personal, by the way. This is personal preference. This is more me making a suggestion as
Now you're
someone
making it
who's done this
personal.
before. And it's all personal.
Mm.
When I hit my shots alongside this river, by the way, I thought it was beautiful. I love this river down kind of low, and you on the flyover as you're following your shot, you kind of you can see the kind of river down to your left down there. I just think there was an opportunity to, you're buying assets. If you don't have RAM, get RAM. Or if you're not going to get RAM, put a water plane in there and actually make water, not just a satellite imagery there, and then add a couple of water clips, and so that when I'm against the tee box there, I can hear the water. It's a big river running next to me. Just some small things like that would have given a little bit of more immersiveness of the hole. It doesn't detract from any way of how the course is playing. This is all off course stuff, but it's right next to it. It just bumps up right against the course.
Yeah, and I would assume that's like a real road that cars would go on. I would think that, RAM could give you a real looking road too, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
So kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You get the river with RAM, and you get the road with RAM.
And you get the road with RAM. You get
Yep.
road RAM.
Program.
It's like road rage, but RAM.
Yeah, sure.
And then one other small, and we'll go to this next one. If some grass was hovering, this is I think between 16 and 17 or 17 and 18. The water right between the two over there. Grass was hovering. If you're going to use this grass, we were talking about this pre-show. Mix this. I hate this grass. Use whatever grass you want to use. I personally don't like this grass. But if you're going to use this grass, it works best if you mix it with a couple of other grasses and kind of like make it one of many.
Yep.
I would say very rarely are you going to use a single type of grass. You always want to mix them together. That's actually what those hue variation, the healthy and the dry shading is supposed to actually, it actually makes it look like 2 different types of grasses. But yeah, especially this grass, you don't want to use it by itself.
You could literally put this grass in 2 or 3 times, and each time have two different hue variations. So you end up with 6 different types of hue variations of the same grass, and it will look 1,000 times better than having a single instance of that grass with the same hue.
Yep.
Okay. And then last piece was just so when you go do an update at some point, you have this is that same creek, right, the same pond right next to that grass we just looked at. The water body is floating above the grass. So this is in the course. It is in play. It's a hazard, but you can see it. So I actually saw it from I won't say where, from my errant tee shot, but I did see this from there. So that's something you probably want to address.
You can either fix it in two different ways. One is you can lower the plane, or two, you can make it bigger so it ends up hitting the sides, right?
And I will tell you what I found out too is if you are using a water plane that just you brought in from Blender, if you're not going into Blender and messing with it, and you're trying to use it in Unity and just expand it and make it bigger, it won't work. It never works well that way. Just create a new plane, a square plane, make it the right size, put it at the right level, make sure it goes through all of it, drop the aqua shader on top of it, boom, you've got drop a water probe on top of it, a reflection probe on top of it, boom, you've got a brand new plane,
or
you got your water shader
if he's
on
got
it,
RAM.
If he's got RAM, drop a RAM. Exactly.
He's got a RAM plane, you can have all kinds of swampy water in there if you want.
Yep. Exactly. So.
Oh yeah, wild burrito tortilla.
Cue the
Sangria time.
Cue
the bell. Blue potato.
So, blue potato. You want to do this one? Or you want me to do it?
Let's tag team this one. So, first of all, you pulled this one out of your greenkeeper, right? So
I pulled this out of my
greenkeeper,
so that
red.
explains that. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So we'll ping John on that. So Blue Potato, friend of the show, great guy. Talked to him several times. I will tell you, I loaded this course. I was excited. I was excited to see 3 courses.
And it's a blue potato. Like Blue Potato has his. We know what he likes and what he likes to do.
Yeah, listen, I agree. When I first loaded this up, my first thought was it's a Blue Potato course. I mean, he kind of has that signature look, and it's good. It's not a criticism in any way. It's actually really good. And the thing I love the most, too, is I've seen him take feedback from us. And, I mean, he and I have had conversations offline. I'm sure you and him have conversations offline. We talked about his stuff on the show. I have seen him take the feedback and implement it into his courses, and they get better and better. So I love to see that. I actually tell you what, I'm gonna throw the gauntlet down. So Steve, we need to cue up some like Western music. Like I think we need like some like dueling, like gonna walk out paces and turn around and shoot like exactly, yeah, like So I'm gonna throw the challenge down for Blue Potato. Okay, I think this is like I know you've got 3 courses. It's like 3 9s that are I constructed. I think you made 19 courses out of 3 9s, something like that. I'm gonna throw the challenge down right now. Here it is. Ready? I want you to do an Iowa farm course.
No.
I want you to do a Hawaii course. No. What I mean by that is, I think you
then, all right. You have to back it up, though. If you say then you have to do a desert course.
Fine.
Oh,
so okay. All right, we'll throw it out there. I got to do a desert course.
You guys should hook up, though, and maybe
we should hook up,
share some assets here.
To be fair, I have done a Hawaii course, and I have done a mountain course, and I have done an Austin kind of like Central Texas course, and
then maybe you and I should do a desert course, because that's the one thing. Well, I'm working on a Hawaiian course.
You're working on a Hawaiian course.
I've done a lot of parkland courses. I did a mountain course. So,
I hear you're working on a Hawaii course.
I do.
I hear you have a year for your editing.
It might take a year or 2 at the pace I'm going. Yeah.
I hear Masta pings me on Discord and said, "Guess what? What?" He's like, "I finished a side of a house."
It's about right.
No, what I mean by that challenge, I mean by it is really, really positive. Is I think you've got some really, really great skills and a great eye for detail. I'd love to see you branch out beyond just some of the Southwest courses that you've been doing.
Yeah,
they're really, really good, and I'd love to see what you can do beyond it.
Yeah, I'd like to see if his obviously his coloring here is spot on. I'd like to see if that can transfer to some other genres. I'm gonna call it that.
Yep. I did notice on these courses, particularly, for some reason, your grasses were just rendering very close. that was not a far screenshot. That was 100 and I think it was 150, 160 yards.
So
and
the
you can see there's
flyover, you're getting the domino effect.
yeah. There was nothing beyond about 150, 170 yards or so. And so
Was
just
it the
scale those out.
cactus? Was it no? The cactuses they look like
No,
they're like billboarded, but
no,
it's the smaller grasses. Huh.
it's just the smaller grasses. I think he just dialed all around. Normally he layers them, has
Yeah,
one goes all the way, and I think he just forgot to do that on these. So just a
interesting.
note.
Yeah.
Yep. Little bit of a hue on your stat shader from your fairway to your rough. You can see kind of like the halo kind of going around that fairway
Speaking
a
of
little bit.
halo that we were talking about earlier, right? There's a halo.
Hold
There
on.
you go.
Let me get. Hold on. I have a. Hold on. Oh, we have the camera off. When we turn the camera back on, I'll have my Master Chief ready to show you guys. So
Here we go. Throw it
there
up,
we
throw
go.
it there.
Here's
Oh,
my
no
Master.
way.
Oh wait, it's being blurred by your
Oh, it's
background.
blurred out.
Put it
Oh,
in front
damn
of your
it. Hold
chest.
on.
There
Right
it
in front
is.
of you.
There you
There you
go.
go.
There you go.
There's
Now
my
I see
Master. Master Chief holds my controllers, so the controller sits right here, and it's a Halo controller too. So anyway,
Nice.
sorry,
Nice.
I digress. So anyway, just a little bit of blending on that. You see it. I don't need to go into any more detail on that.
Yeah.
You get it.
So
all
how
good
would
there.
what would he do to like? It doesn't look like he's doing any sat shader on his fairway. So then all that sat shader is showing up here in this rough. Do you pull that sat shader in?
I think he's sat shading fairway too.
So then what you think it just needs to be lightened up then?
It needs to be lightened up a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't know. I think it's the rough.
Well, I think the halo is the rough part. I think the halo we're seeing is coming from his rough stat shader. I think he needs to extend his rough stat shader over to the fairway more.
Yeah, I would agree.
Okay. I was gonna say that I didn't think he was using sat shader on his fairway at all.
I don't think it's sat shader on the fairway.
Huh,
I think it's
hard to
just
tell.
from the rough.
From not having sat shader.
I think so because nothing.
But
even
I see
even the halo effect doesn't even look like if you were trying to clone and stamp as an example.
yeah.
It just doesn't look well. Actually,
Now
if you look,
you know where I've seen that before, and I'm gonna say it for my own mistake. Okay.
okay.
And I this is my mistake. Actually, I was in Austin in one of the betas I found it. I actually Kraizzed. I think you pointed out, and it was one of the fairways I had in Austin. In my Photoshop, I had accidentally put two different fairway. To use your term, Masta, GFRs, right? I created two different. I was playing with colors, and I was working with different hues and different types of greens to see how it was going to look. And I had two of them, and one had expanded out by 3, and one had expanded out by 1. And I forgot to turn one of them off. And so I had this halo going all the way around my fairway, and it ended up being an extra fairway sat shader that was expanded out into my rough that I forgot to turn off.
If you move your cursor just slightly down, a little bit more, a little bit more. So Rage, stop there. You can see overrun from the fairway into the rough.
Yeah.
So it just I think it's probably just a bleed through.
It's a bleed through of something.
Sat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, this was interesting. Okay, I spent a little time on this. Yeah, this is an interesting one. This is my tee shot. This is number 3. And I was just a little bit right. And I go to hit my chip shot, and look, I'm at 46 frames per second, and I do a VSync 1 on. I'm 46. Now keep in mind, I'm a 4070 Ti with 128 gig of RAM on a 13th gen. Yeah, it's a beefy machine that I have here. And I'm at 46. Now, I had no performance problems on any of the other holes, but here I did. And so I start flying around to go look and see.
You have no performance problems around the holes.
None.
Okay.
0. I have no
I had to
performance
slip in
problem.
the sexual innuendo at some point here. Okay, there we go.
Steve, cue up some.
Side effects may include.
Cue up the Trojan Man. However, when I flew over to those stairs that are right there, I went down to 20 frames a second. If I looked left of the stairs or right of the stairs, I was back in over 100. There's something with that staircase right there that I circled that is causing a massive amount of frames drop. I don't know what it is. So I ran, if you go ahead, in the new Greenskeeper, the new beta of Greenskeeper that's not out yet, I did run a performance checker on the whole course. It didn't pick this up because the performance checker didn't fly over this particular view. So overall performance on the course was really good. You may want to look at hole 6, a little bit of a drop, a pretty big drop on 6 in relation to your other holes. But I don't know what is up with those stairs, but you should, I don't know, you should look at them. They're draining down pretty hard when you're facing them.
Interesting.
I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
Cool. Either way, Blue Potato, great job. Great courses. Love them as always.
Yep. Love the desert courses.
And what do we have here? Austin
we have
Golf
an
Club.
Identity crisis. Is it Austin Golf Club? Is it Austin Country Club? What is it?
So is it, you actually don't know what it is? Like, is it?
I do. So it is Austin Country Club for sure. Okay. There's a lot of confusion on this. Okay. And if you follow the Discord or Facebook groups, there's a lot of confusion. It is Austin Country Club. I had this really, really weird gut feeling that they may not like Austin Country Club being everywhere all over GS Pro.
Okay.
I don't know. It was a gut feeling. So I called it Austin Golf Club. Now, I completely forgot Ben Crenshaw has a private course in Central Texas called Austin Golf Club. So a couple of folks were like, "Oh, this is the Ben Crenshaw course." Like, no, it's not. Well, what is it? Well, it's the Austin Country Club, but it's not. It's Austin anyway. So there was some confusion. And then to be even more confused, normally,
why don't you just call it Austin County Club?
They should. And then Austin County, like Preston County, Austin County. And then normally the course holes are switched. The 9s are switched. But
so
for the Dell tournament, they switched them.
Yes.
Yes. And so there was even more confusion on this course.
And that's when the guys, we were all playing this, they're like, wait, this isn't matching up what I've been seeing on TV. And I was like, I bet they changed for the tournament, they changed them on TV to make,
it matches what's playing on TV exactly, but it doesn't match what their scorecard and stuff really is, because the member holes, their front 9 is by the water.
Okay.
And at the tournament, the back 9 is by the water because they're the best finishing holes.
Right. That's where people fall apart. Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to preface this by saying, how long did it take you to build this?
12 days.
So you went out there and you said, well, Austin Golf Club, Country Club, whatever, isn't out there right now. We need this.
So cute.
Giddy up.
So Steve, cute. We need some story time music here. So we're gonna cue up some story time music because I have a little story about this. Then we'll go. Okay. And you guys haven't heard this story. Okay. And this is kind of going to be a two-phase story. It's going to be a modern like story now, and then it's going to be a way back story. Okay. Because I have history with this club. So, 14 days before the SGT tournament was to start, I pinged Cook and said, "Hey, do you know if anybody is working on Austin Country Club?"
He said, "Hi."
He says, "Yeah." He said, "Not that I know of." And I said, "Well, I would love to build it for the Dell, the WGC championship." And he said, "Thank you. Good luck. Good to see you've left yourself plenty of time."
Do you have a job and a family? Because you're going to lose them.
Exactly. So I said, and listen, I don't know if you guys are the same way, but I'm like, shit, I'll pull the LiDAR down. I'll have that done in 30 minutes. And then I'll have it in Unity in less than an hour. I'll throw some VS Pro trees in, and before you know it, I'll have a course that's done, and I'll be ready for beta in like 4 days, right? Nothing ever goes according to plan that way, especially
then you're dealing with a beta of V4 on top of that.
Yeah, and so this one, listen, and Stingerier, what's his nickname? He
is the psychiatrist, right?
The shrink. The psychiatrist will tell you. So the new version of V4 Blender, you submit it online, and then it spits you out your Blender stuff. I submitted it 75 times. I got one complete mesh. one complete mash.
We're gonna start calling you. Your new nickname is Mashie.
I had to cobble together some of the meshes. Like I would literally do. Well, let me do the ones by the hole. Send that through. Those are good. Put those in Unity, and then put the front core. Put the and then do and then
is meticulous.
So I had to do it that way just to get all the meshes together because I couldn't get the entire course. It kept breaking some of the rules of the tools with the giant lake and some other things. So yes, I built, and then what I forgot was, so Cook turns on the SGT tournaments usually Monday around 10 a.m. or so. So I figured out I would have safely until Sunday night to get it all done and everything and ready to go.
And you're going on vacation.
I forgot that. So I looked at the calendar after I accepted the start of this project and said,
"Oh shit,
I'm leaving Saturday morning to go to the Caribbean." So I'm not kidding you. I got it all done. Kraizzed, we put it in beta. A bunch of different iterations. We had a lot of people looking at it. And I literally packed up my work laptop. I copied the entire project over, all the Blender files over. I brought everything with me to the Caribbean in case I had to fix something while we were there, while it was being played on the tournament, knowing I couldn't make cosmetic updates and things like that. So it's not 100% done. I have a lot to do. Now, story time. Let's go way back. Masta, do you remember when you were 16?
Well, yeah. I could bring up a ton of stories. I know.
You remember? Like... Yeah. Do you remember the stupid stuff you did when you were 16?
We'll save those for another episode.
Okay. So I'm going to share one of my 16-year-old stories with y'all here right now. Okay. So I have a friend whose name is Jason, and I won't give you his last name. And we're still friends this day, and we've been friends since 5th grade. And his birthday and my birthday are 2 weeks apart. So we got our licenses 2 weeks apart. So when I got my license, I turned 16. It was the day after I got my license. And he had a car and I didn't.
He thought he had a license, Letha.
He had an nice. So he had a brand new actually, but like it was like a 19. I'm dating myself. It was like a 1984, 85 Nissan Sentra. Nothing fancy, right? Cheap ass car. We decide. The second day that I have my license, we decide that we're going to go drive around at 2 o'clock in the morning and try to go to places we normally couldn't go and explore. So we wind our way.
Sounds smart.
Off of, by the way, we live in Austin. We grew up in Austin together. So we're driving around 360. We cross over the Pennybacker Bridge, which is the bridge right there over the lake. And we take a left at the light and we go driving down around and we end up at this really beautiful clubhouse, which is Austin Country Club. And I'm like, there's a stop sign.
You're going to admit this? It was the county club.
County club, excuse me. It's Austin County Club. And he goes, where do we go? And I'm like, dude, take a left at the stop sign. So we take a left at the stop sign. So we start driving. And then we notice there's nothing around us. There's no trees. There's nothing. That stop sign was for golf carts. We are now on the cart path, driving across number 12 at Austin Country Club down by the water at 2 in the morning on his car.
And you're not even drunk.
No. So I have history with this club. So when this club came up to go do it, I'm like, I gotta build it. So Run actually had it in the queue, and he was gracious enough to.
You should have put what kind of car are you in? You should have put an animated car just flying across the golf course.
Hey, I have a Nissan Sentra model. I actually found a red one that matches. I was waiting for the tournament to end to do some stuff like that.
With going across with a nice little yeehaw!
Yeah. Oh my God. We literally got to the fairway, halfway across the fairway at 12, coming down, and was like, where the hell how do we get out of here? And so we back up, and we're driving in the grass now because we're backing up, trying to get back up to the anyway. So yeah. It's there. That was my story.
Awesome. That's fantastic. I love relatable stories like that because that's something I would have done at that age. Okay, so let's take a look at this bad boy. So 11 days worth of work, and honestly, you captured the essence of the course, even managed to put take advantage of the 2.10 greenkeeper and put the so if people don't know, when you load up, you can't do it in practice mode. You're actually going to load up like you're playing a regular match. So put everybody's name in there like you're playing a match, and then down at the bottom you can do head to the range, and then it puts you on the range for the golf course, which I didn't put in here, but I
Nope.
should have. But it's great. It's got the sides on it. We had a good time playing that. It's totally immersive. And then when you're done,
And you played this one with your guys, right?
yes. Oh yeah.
Yep.
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 6 of us. So 6 of us played because it was a weird night. 6 of us played. It took us like 5 hours. 6 of us playing through. Hole number 1. So first of all, I can't imagine how long the stone walls took you because they are pervasive throughout the entire course. They make the course, without them, you would definitely lose the feel of the course. They're very unique. The other thing I saw here, which we'll talk about those in a second, but first of all, the colors are good. I liked the hue here, the matching, the grasses, all good. One thing I noticed was intriguing to me. So the markers here, green and blue. Did you somehow figure out how to do like a blended marker? Is that what you did here?
Though literally the markers were thrown in at the last second that I finalized the course up, and all I did was grab what was in there. So I just grabbed what was in the base pack and dropped
So
them in.
these are new in the V4 base pack then.
These are new in the V4 base pack. Yep. There's a whole bunch of new markers.
Okay.
Yep.
Very nice.
Now I will tell you, Ryan, who was on last episode, offered to make me the actual Dell cubes.
Nice.
Unfortunately, his message came into me over Discord when I was in the car heading to the airport on Saturday morning.
You had 11
thanks, Ryan.
days.
But
you had 11 days. 11 days, and I would never do that. Honestly, you're a braver man than me to take on something like this that's going to have, frankly, so many eyes on it, right?
I tried.
So that's what makes me nervous about the other course I'm working on. Is it's going to get a lot of eyes on it. So you'll know. I can't remember what hole this is, but
this is 11.
Yeah, I had to get the bridge in there, the water, the fountain on there. I wish we had better fountains. I wish we had better. I don't like fountains. It feels like
I don't like particle
effects. It feels like it's not even a particle. It feels like Chinese stars are just being thrown out.
Yeah,
right.
I don't like them. I use the default base one. I think I can. I know I can make a much better fountain using the particle engine inside of Unity. I didn't have the time to custom build one.
You might be able to use like the RAM waterfall particle effects to add to that to make it look a little better. But
well, all I really needed to do is go in and pull the waterfalls I put on Bear Dance and just drop them in here. The water in Bear Dance, I'm dropping here and they'd be fine.
Yeah.
What I missed on this one, again, I'm my biggest critic. I think we should be our biggest critics. On 11, you notice those trees to the left of the green over there? There is a waterfall over there. There is a wide-ranging waterfall that goes in this pond. I actually had the waterfall in, and it didn't look good at all, and I didn't have the time to fix it. So instead, I pulled it out, filled it with trees, made it hazard, because it is a hazard.
So you decided to spend your time on things that people are really going to see, which is you flatten your car paths, right?
I flattened car paths, and I did a lot of rock work, and
Yeah. This is another shot of the bridge.
Shot.
This was like, this is just beautiful here. I know we played this hole. We had a lot of fun here. And I'll talk about something else in a second here, but I just want to let everyone soak this one in because this was also just. Did R. Dyer do the bridge? Where'd you get the bridge from?
No, the bridge was donated to me by JG.
Okay. Did he sketch up it? Was it a SketchUp?
I found the sketch. I found the bridge on 3D Warehouse, and he took the bridge and added some textures to it to make it look good in Unity.
Sweet. Okay.
And then I took the bridge, sized it, and then did a little more tweaking once it got into Unity.
Nice. Because that is like, there's certain things when you do a course, you're going to have to get.
You have to have that bridge.
Yeah, you got to have that bridge. One thing, and I think we were kind of talking earlier about advanced lighting and not advanced lighting, and I felt like, so I know like these are huge bodies which make, so the water I felt was a little dark, made it look a little oily. But I know like water bodies like this, reflection probes are definitely a challenge. Now, I'm definitely in a spot looking across here where normally a golfer's not going to be. And I think we had shown before, like TechBud had used like just making the ripples a little bit more aggressive,
Yep.
breaks everything up.
Yep.
But I would say maybe just if I had to say anything here is like just change the overall hue of the water to make it match
Yep.
the green and the browns around it a little bit better, right?
Yeah, and I agree. I think it's one of those things that it's on my list. It is on my list, and I spent more time on the bulkheads to get the bulkhead to look good, the wood
Yeah,
bulkhead there, than I did
that's
making the
is that
water.
and
So
that's a blender bulkhead, right?
that's a blender bulkhead. But again, I want to big throw out, big kudos out to Run Pud Run. Run showed me this really cool technique where, and I did it for some of the stone work too, where you create a bulkhead, but then in Blender you go in and you delete all of the vertices and the segments that you don't want, and you're left with a small wall. And then you can modify the individual pieces of that wall. So instead of having something that circles your entire area, so it's a really cool technique that helped me get a lot of this done.
Nice. Yeah, it's flat, it's flush against the grass, which is not easy to do. I didn't even see any grass poking out through it either, which is
Nope.
pretty impressive. That's hard to
Nope.
that's hard to get done. So
Trees are my bane of my existence.
yeah, so this is where this is tough because you
Yeah.
have it's like, where do you start? Okay, so you start with this color that you have on your fairways, your greens, and that's kind of like your theme, and then you build off of that.
Yep.
And then I saw that so what I have checked here is this foreground tree, this green here, I thought was perfect.
Yep.
But we had these specks in here, which we were talking about earlier. We're trying to figure out what that is.
Like
That
metallic specks or something that
Yeah,
are
and I
yeah.
zoomed in. It almost looked like it was someone who was holding a mirror there, so that's why I thought it was metallic as well. But this green I thought was perfect to match up. But then in the trees that are kind of with this question mark here, they're like a Lod 1 or a Lod 2 tree. They get really kind of light
Yep.
and more like washed out. And then in the
Yep.
distance, your billboards are like now VS Pro by default matches billboards to Lot 0, which I think would explain why they look good compared to this foreground tree,
Yep.
right? But we're trying to figure out what happened in the middle here. And then also we have another
Those are Lod 1 trees right there.
so we're trying to figure so and then you said it
Yep.
was they were forced, right?
They're forest trees. Yeah. And listen, this is, again, this is a learning thing, right? I think one of the things that we always try to do is we're not trying to critique, we're trying to teach.
Right.
And these are trees I've never used, but they are the best oak trees. And Central Texas is full of all kinds of oak trees. And so they're the best oak trees I could find. So I was using trees I'd never used before. I did create and modify the shaders of the trees and tweak them for the various different, because I used 5 different types of oaks. And then I tweaked the shader for each of the 5 because I wanted, every oak's a little different
Yes.
hue. I didn't want all the same. And it, it works in some scenes and some angles, and it doesn't work in others. And it's something I'm still looking at.
Did you try? Now, we were talking about this. Which shader did you use for these?
These are all arboreum shaders.
Okay.
Arboreum.
So did you try bringing in, so there was the script written by, I think, All Arms, that you can take the hue variation into the arboreum shader. Okay.
I did not. Yeah, I did not do that.
You could try to take all the colors across all those different trees and match them across all of them, and then use the arboreum shading hue thing that he did, which would then give you a little bit of differences amongst the trees, and maybe it might clean some of that up. I don't know.
That might work. I did try switching them off of the arboreum shaders to the speed tree shaders, and
that could get nasty.
Yeah.
That did not work very well. The different LODs didn't render very well. I did not go in and play with them as nature manufacturer shaders. I just ran out of time.
Yeah.
So I got them to where I thought from in GS Pro playing the course for the duration of the hole I was on, they looked good, right? I didn't get them to where if I'm flying up like this and looking over the whole course, they look great across the whole thing.
And that's where
nailed.
I noticed some of these spots on the course, and I had to fly up to kind of get a shot to illustrate it to everybody what I thought was going on. Because normally you won't see the course from here. Then the walls. Wow, man, that is. Well, that's a lot of work on the walls.
So this is I put this one in just to show you guys. So this is hole number 2. Again, easy mistake. We all make mistakes. You notice the grass patches, the patches where there's no grass. I today, as a matter of fact, I was looking, saying I'm trying to figure out why the hell I got these little patches with no grass. My OPCD meshes folder was raised at 0.4 instead of 0.04. And V4, I don't even need it at 0.04, but it was raised up too high. When I lowered it down to 0, all of a sudden that filled in with grass. But I also don't like the rocks. They don't look natural. And so this is a sneak peek of what it will look like when I'm done. So this is the update that's coming. Same exact hole. Updated rocks. You can see a tiered, multi-tier level of retaining wall of rocks the way it is in real life. I meant to put a screenshot of the actual hole here to see. And then there are some kind of rocks that have fallen off the wall that are in front of it. Probably too many. I'll break those down a little bit. But I am in the process right now of an update for this. It'll fix all the trees like we talked about. It'll fix the patchiness of grass. It's going to redo all of the rock work on it. Some other things. I got a list about 15 things deep that I'll do, and I'll hopefully get out in the next week or two, and then kind of put Austin Country Club in the. I may even rename it Austin Country Club and see
You
where
got
it goes.
till next year.
I do have to. No, they've canceled it. No more tournament there. It's done.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
Bummer.
But it was a fun course to play. It was fun to do, and I enjoyed it. And it was a ton of work in 11 and a half days.
Man, no, thank you.
And that was
cool.
just going back. This is going back. I'm trying to build retaining walls versus just a single rock wall.
That's so hard to do. I had to do that on a couple of early on courses I built, and that is not easy.
Yeah, still working with it. This is not finished. This is still a work in progress, as you can see. But just giving you a screenshot, kind of a what's to come of when I'm done with it.
Yep, fantastic.
Very nice.
Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
Applause.
Thank you. People seem to enjoy it.
Yep. So then we have Amana Colonies Golf Club by LT Banner.
Is this his first?
No,
No,
LT.
I don't think so.
He has.
Oh no. Yeah,
no,
you're right. You're right.
He might have 15, 20.
You're right. You're right. My bad. I want to know one thing on this course, by the way. I have yet to figure out how to get a course difficulty all the way up, 5 stars. Like, what did he do?
John has explained this to me a million times, and I still don't get it.
I don't either.
Something to do with the slope, distance of the course. What I don't understand though is it doesn't take like vegetation or trees in, or I don't know. It can't take elevation in either. So I don't know.
I know.
He's not the magician. He's the what?
John. He's the architect.
Oh yes.
Yep.
So the architect he's got it dialed in somehow.
He does have it dialed. The architect has it dialed in.
Yep.
I thought this was a gorgeous course. I really
there.
enjoyed the look of this course. Like the color, I love these kind of fall colors, and they all blended really well.
And and this is what it's so hard to explain to like new designers is, you don't want anything to stick out. And I say that, but I kind of bite my tongue when I say it because those trees, they don't match, but the hue does match. It fits the genre or the overall theme, so it's fine. Yep. What you don't want is like that crazy off green, which he doesn't have in here, right? So
I think it's great.
The T markers are cool.
T marker, are they like lanterns that are lower? I love them. I think they're fantastic. I mean, what would be better? Like light them. I want to see them lighting up.
Blink. Have them blink.
Have them blink. Have them exactly.
Alexa, turn on white tees.
Performance was great. You can see my performance, 134 frames, so it was great on that one. No problems there. Anywhere through the whole course.
Fun. A little bit of elevation in here too, huh?
A little bit of elevation. Now this was cool. Okay, I took this. So this is on the first tee. Just turn 90 degrees. Okay, all I did was turn 90 degrees, and I kind of zoomed in a little bit. And here you can see there's the tee box, and then a little bit of semi around the tee box. And then the 3DG is the rough. And then the bigger 3DG, he listened to Masta Blasta about, hey, you can put big. It doesn't mean more. And so he added big 3DG, which I love, big, thick. And then he added 2D grasses behind that to give this layered look. And it works. It works really well most of the time. It doesn't work really well all the time. So this is hole, I think, 3 or 4.
50%
you'll
of the
notice
time, it works all the time.
50% of the time works all the time. If you look here, all of the brown area to the right of the green and behind the green and in front of the green, all that brown area is actually 3DG. But it's not rendering here from
Yep.
this tee box. And so it
It looks
looks like
bare.
it's a bunch of spotty bare, with some spotty grasses in there. And I should have taken a screenshot when you get closer, it looks like what you just saw.
Looks
It looks
beautiful,
like that.
right?
It looks beautiful, right? So it's an interesting use of 3DG. Not saying it's a bad use. It's just an interesting use. And it has some pluses and negatives. Like the
What if there's
negative
a
is
way
from
that you could get grass to not render close? So you could put like the 2D grass out there so it looks full, and then as it gets closer, remove the
it
2D
stops
grass, and as
rendering.
the 3D comes in, I don't know. That'd be interesting, huh?
That would be interesting. That would be an interesting thing. Yeah.
But performance-wise, you said it was good, so maybe he could just render some grasses out there and not.
Oh, listen, from my perspective, I think he could just put a bunch more 2D grasses inside that 3DG and it would look fine. And from here, you'd see a more grassy area and he wouldn't hurt performance too bad.
Yeah, it looks like he's got plenty of room to spare here.
Yeah. Yep. Another just really pretty shot. What I love about this one is, and I took this again from a golf perspective. I played this on the sim. From a golf perspective, is a fun course to play. There was some elevation.
I'm circling this one because I need to play it.
There was some targeted tee shots. Let's just put it that way.
Nice.
So I took this screenshot because what I loved about this is, you know what? You can hit your 220, 230 yard hybrid shot right out here into the first landing area. I took a driver off to the left, kind of over the left of the tees in front. You see the tee box, the next tee box up?
Yep.
The left tee box. I took a driver off of there with a draw, and I put it right into the middle of that second landing area.
Oh,
right there.
The aggressive line.
Yep, exactly. And that left me a short shot coming in, a relatively short shot coming in for par 5. I just loved it. It was like this snake-esque. There was a couple of holes that I was like, these are golf holes. Like there's trees everywhere. But notice there's not a ton of hazard. There's not a ton of OB. If you hit it a great shot, but you hit it long and you're in the trees, you're just dealing with trees and punch out with something. So you can swing away on this course and have fun with it. So I just thought it was great. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, this looks like one to have fun with the guys. Risk reward.
Yeah, it's a tight course though.
It's tight.
It's not wide open.
Nope.
I mouse through it because I know my swing in the sim would not fare well here.
Yep, it's good. Custom tee markers. I thought the cart paths looked fantastic. I hate cart paths. I'm gonna stop doing them. All I want to do is just do satellite cart paths and stop splining them.
Yep.
I thought the cart paths. The view looked great. Overall, it looked really good. Performance continued to stay really strong the whole course.
Yep. Yeah, you can see
But
the big 3DG here. It's a different view that you can see it now.
Yeah, and you can see that big 3DG. Unless you're really looking for it, it looks barren. Listen,
well, you can see like where my mouse is right now, and the people watching the video, and I don't, you guys, Mashie and Kraizzed, you might not be able to see this, but my mouse right here, the 3DG is really sticking up, but you can see how quickly it starts to fall off back here.
Correct.
And all of a sudden, this area is barren, which up close will look like this area right here, right?
Yeah. Now he's going to bitch at me and be like, listen, all you do is bitch about satellite 3DG and making sure it matches. And he's done a great job of satellite 3DG. It matches perfectly. You just can't see it because the way it renders out there.
Right.
So,
yeah.
It's an interesting application. It works well in certain areas and not. Billboards are good. Like, given the tree colors,
honestly can't get much better than that. Really?
No, I mean the tree colors are hard, and these are really good billboards given those tree colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you only see the line because you just see the flatness there, but I mean, honestly, that's what billboards are.
Yeah. Now.
Oh, you did find something here.
We did find. There's always something, and listen, and not nitpicking, but always something.
Oh, we're nitpicking.
Okay, we'll nitpick. We're gonna ask our viewers if they've stayed with us this long. I think we're on another 3-hour marathon run. Take a second, look at the screenshot. and see if you can find, as I did from the T in the sim, the flaw.
Do, 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 do,
Cue the Jeopardy music.
Yep.
do.
Okay, now we'll go to Kraizzed first. Kraizzed, what do
Did
you
you want
think the
me-
flaw is
well,
from here? Since we talked about it in
know-
pre-show,
I
you
know
already
what
know.
the answer is. But yeah.
What was your
It's the-
first? What was your first answer when we did this earlier?
Well, it's part. My first answer was a bit of the reflection just from an offset.
Yep. And Masta, your first answer
My first answer was the reflection, just like Crazed.
Yep.
I thought it was the proportional. The tree trunks threw me off. It's like, what is that big black line? I thought it was a tree trunk. But then, after looking at it a little bit more, I realized that there's a very, very hard line off that water, which made me suspect that it was floating.
It is a floating water body. I didn't take a picture of it coming back from the green back to the water, but
How
the
high
water
up was
body
it?
is floating. It's about this far off the,
Okay.
a yay, a smidge. What would your mom say? A half
My mom would
yard.
say, "Go to your room."
Well, fair. My mom would be like, "Oh, it was a smidge. It was enough to cause trouble, but not enough to look bad." So, the water body's floating at the green side, so it is enough to cause issues. Like if you hit a ball and you land it on the rough short side and it rolls back, it will roll underneath the water plane. So just be aware of that.
Yeah.
It isn't a hazard, so it will still end up being the same thing, but pretty minor fix. Just lower your water body or expand it out so it goes into the side. So
Love the way his cart path looks, though.
Yeah.
It does look
Yep.
sweet.
Yep. And then, so this is the one. I didn't read it out, but in the description, I really found it interesting that the clubhouse burned down.
Yeah, that's cool.
And
I really like when people bring stuff back like that.
I do too. And so he brought back the clubhouse and put it in here, and I thought it was great, and I wanted to take a picture of it. This is 18 coming up. I think it's a beautiful shot. I love cars. And then I saw this really weird thing. Look at the flag. There's a blue, if you look really close, there's a blue rectangle where the flag would be if it was fully extended.
Yeah.
And I all we could guess is that maybe because of the custom skybox you're using, that flag asset is, the transparent asset's kind of showing a little bit. It's no big deal. It doesn't change gameplay. Only a geek like me would notice looking for it.
So I wonder what flag asset that is that it's using.
Yeah. So heads up, just it's there. Overall, great view, great clubhouse. I love that you brought it back resurrected it from the ashes. So
Well done.
Really nice. Well done.
So Mashie and Mastas and Kraizzed.
And Kraizzed.
Yep.
Kraizzed.
So I'll go
Kraizzed.
first because mine's really easy because my must play of the week because I played it was Austin, right? I mean,
Thank you.
literally loaded up. When the guys are over, what course you playing? We're playing Austin, guys. So that's the easy one for me. So I'll leave the other ones that you guys pick.
Kraizzed, you're our guest. You go next.
I would say LT banners. I really enjoyed Amana.
Nice.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going with that one too. I have a rule. I don't pick my own courses, so I never choose my own courses. I think it's kind of weird, so I'm not picking mine. I think LT Banners was great. I think of all the courses this week that we played, it was a unique course. I think he did a great job on colors and hues. For me, it was a really, really good combination of great golf with a great looking course paired together. And it's one of those on the first hole, you're like, wow, this is an impressive course. So I'm going with LT Banner's course as well.
Nice.
Yep.
Okay. And I would probably be a very close second to me because I circled it and I'm making a note that when the guys come over again, we're going to load that one up.
It's good. It's really good.
Yeah. All right. So let's switch gears. So we do have Kraizzed on. And one of the reasons I wanted to have him on, one of many, is that he has been working a lot in the background, and everyone knows like this. We run on community here, right? None of us are getting paid to do this. It's a passion thing. And he realized that we had a challenge ahead of us. That challenge being is that it's a good problem to have, which is we got people turning out courses,
Ton
and
of them.
the beta program, which was very informal, which was, hey, I have a course, look at this, give me feedback, had to get more structured. And he really
Yep.
took the bull by the horns. You
Yep.
you embraced it, you took control of it. So thank you. It's like that is what we needed. That's what people that we need to do this. So I really appreciate it. Thanks for coming on the show. So we're going to
Happy to
talk
be
a
here.
little bit about
So I
first of all,
think Master, real quick. I think we need to give him a nickname. I think Kraizzed needs a nickname. I think, given your description, I agree wholeheartedly with everything you're saying and the way he's been really leaning in and really owning this leadership, this beta project. I'm gonna call him the leader. I
Oh.
think he should be the leader.
the leader is his nickname.
You think so? Is that not good?
I don't know. I might have to ponder on that one. There's
No?
a lot.
Okay.
There's
how
a
about-
lot of moving parts to it. There's Sting in the background has made the process super easy with the forums.
He's got a
Beta
nickname.
JSON. I know he does. I call him the fixer. You guys have a different. I call him the fixer because he's always fixing stuff.
we almost called him the
We should almost call him the fixer too. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're with you. Yeah.
He's done a lot. You guys have done a lot. There's a few other people as well.
Okay.
JG is involved.
Yep.
Rusty Dave is involved. So there's quite a few people in there. Everyone's had kind of their hand in the cookie jar, so to speak.
Well, we need to come up with a nickname for you because
I have an idea for a
okay.
nickname.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it's beta program. Why don't we call him
Yeah.
Bueto? Like a beta, but beta.
Beta, the Bueto.
Bueto.
Oh, I don't
It's-
know. It sounds kind of weird. I don't know that one. I got to think
So
about this.
it's
I'm not sure
hey,
I like that one.
I just want to say that Taco Bell is sponsoring this event, so we need to come something
It is-
Hispanic. So it's got to be Bueto.
That's true.
Cue the bell. Bing. Yeah, we'll ponder on that. Okay, so leader is out, and I thought because I thought that'd be good. You're leading the whole
Hey,
program.
if you've
You're
got a
gonna
good
lead.
nickname, put it in the comments.
There you
Yeah,
go.
leave us.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's go out to the community and have the community help us come up with a nickname.
Crowdsource
You
it.
need a nickname though, dude. We need to come up with a good nickname for you, and you've earned it. And
As
we'll
long as
think
I don't
about it
get
as we-
lynched from reviewing all these courses and
Uh,
thinking my 2 cents.
you know,
all right.
I think it's something that needs done because Mashie and I first started this show. We were both kind of like, hey, we want to be encouraging. We want to help people build better courses. But we've
Yep.
finally got to the point where we have to be like, we've got to let people know that they're going to come up with a little scrutiny here because we
Yeah.
don't want people to become lazy, right? We
Yeah.
want people to put some effort into this. This
Yep.
is something I've put a lot of my effort into. Mashie, you've put a lot of effort. So if you're going to put a course out there, you better be prepared that you're going to get some honest reviews. Not mean by
For
any,
sure.
they're
Not
constructive,
mean.
right?
Yep.
And just understand that.
Yep.
And everyone started there.
Yes.
I've
Absolutely.
I think I'm working on my 4th official course that's coming out. So I'm not like a super veteran, so I got lots to learn still myself. So
Always learning. Yep. Always
Always
be
learning.
learning. Yep. So I want to give this opportunity for you to get some information out to people.
sure.
And I just wanted to so what does that new process look like now? What should people look for and what should people do?
For sure. So the first thing you want to do is, everyone's on the Discord, is go to the beta Discord channel. There's a
Yep.
great write-up. It's got the full list. We can't cover everything here, but there's a full walkthrough, wrote it out. And this morning I recorded a 16 or 17-minute video kind of going step by step through that submission process and what everyone's going to need. I would say the key takeaways is just make sure, read the document, start to finish, kind of get a handle on it. There's a fantastic checklist that everyone's kind of had their hands in. I know you guys have put
Do you think
some work
people
into
are
that.
is that checklist public? Is it in
It
the
is.
hands of all the design? Okay. Do we think they're using? Have you've been submitting some courses through this process so far? Are we seeing?
Yep.
I know I tried to do it with Austin. I tried to file when I submitted it. I used the form and I uploaded everything and I used the checklist.
Yeah.
Just wanted to go through it just like everybody else, right? I'm no different than anybody else.
We've really just started really launching it this week, so it's super fresh. I think there's been 4, maybe 5 courses submitted by users, not by myself, from testing.
Yep.
So what I'm going to go back when I get my free time to actually review their courses is I'm going to go against the checklist and see what was hit and what was missed, and kind of just, I'll DM them and say, listen, this is the new process. Maybe this is what missed, and work on it. What I'm really trying to do for this first initial period is just make sure that the bugs are all worked out. So those bugs are right now it's sort of user side, just bad links being posted, stuff like that, which is causing some issues. So that was the whole thing I did with the video this morning. I want to make sure everyone understands the links, what links we want, how to share your folders, the file structure that we need, because it's not just for the beta process. If your end goal is to get that course on SGT, your course name, course folders, all that stuff has to be the same way it is for beta in order for it to go to SGT. So that was the whole idea of getting that out this morning.
Yeah. So there is, he did do a Loom video, which I combined and I put into the None to Done series. It's posted in the beta channel now. So yeah, take a look at that, because it's interesting. So you got people building courses, but it's amazing that we can have people build courses that don't know how to zip up a file, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it happens. It happens.
Yep.
Yeah.
And each platform, you can use 3 different platforms for posting it. Dropbox, Google, OneDrive. Dropbox and Google are the easiest. If anyone is using OneDrive, definitely take a look at the video, because you do have to manually modify the links that OneDrive provides you with. Okay, you got to kind of make an embedded file, which is normally
good to know. I use OneDrive and didn't modify any links. I just submitted it as is. So good to know.
Yeah. Yep. So I think it's a little bit like, people that are following my videos, I tell you to be detail oriented, be very meticulous.
Yes.
You have to be the same way with submitting your beta as well.
Yep.
Absolutely.
But do they understand? Like, I want to make sure that everybody understands. The goal of this is you will fill out a form. Are we going to show this? Or are we going to go through this in more detail? Like, you're going to fill out a form.
Yes.
And you're going to put your link. And we just do we have a walkthrough of what this looks like, Masta, in the slides, or are we just?
It is in the video.
It's in
demo.
the video.
Yeah.
Video from this morning, step by step. I took one of my courses, start to finish, zipped it up, uploaded it to. I had it on all 3.
Okay.
Posted all the links.
Because, like, to sum it up, you guys, we're gonna go away from downloading a physical zip file and unzipping it into your course folder and then having to delete it. And it's you're going to submit it, hit go, and it will show up in a JSON inside of your SGT with a beta tag in front of it. Yeah. So anybody can that puts that JSON in their server list can then get all the beta courses that way.
Yeah.
Right. This is basically, we're trying to automate the process, so there's little user.
There it is.
User input required. Okay.
Yep.
No one has to upload it. No one's got to create the posts. It gets automatic, and the old process it was fine, but some people are not comfortable downloading a file, moving it to wherever they've installed GS Pro, and then having to worry about manually deleting it later on when it's done. Causes some sync issues. People have different versions of courses. Yep. This should hopefully eliminate all of that, and it's very easy. Same way you download a course in SGT today, it's the same way you're going to download a beta course going forward, and that should be as simple as that.
So ultimately, the problem that we were trying to solve here was getting more exposure to beta courses. And so how do you do that? Well, you have to have more people doing the testing, right? So how do we do that? We don't have enough designers doing the testing, so we need to release this to the general public to do beta testing. So we're not doing that yet. We're still keeping this kind of amongst the designers. But once Kraizzed and the rest of us have this process worked out, we're going to throw this over the fence to the Facebooks, the SGT guys that don't do design, and say, help!
Yeah.
Take our courses for a run, right?
I want
Exactly.
guys like my friend Bob Chong, and I don't know if Bob watches this or not, but I want him to. Like, so I'm throwing him out there because I'm hoping that now somebody will tag him and be like, Bob, you need to go watch this. They're talking about you. Bob, I want you
But
to
Bob
have
doesn't
this
need to
beta.
watch this because Bob doesn't need to post courses, right?
No, but Bob needs to download the JSON server and then
That's
go
right.
play the beta courses because
Yes.
he plays a ton. He loves playing beta courses and he always gives good feedback. And he
Yes.
mostly
Yes.
almost always streams everything he does.
But
And so then
I
go ahead.
think just getting people to play a course, whether it's, I don't think we even need, I think a lot of what we need right now are people playing a course to find the big mistakes.
Yes.
And if you have, because frankly, Mashie, you can open up a course. Kraizzed, you can open up a course. I can open in 5 minutes. I can say that color's not right, your 3DG is not right, and this isn't right. But I don't have time to hit through 18 holes.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
Yep.
Agreed.
And I think there's
My
going to be a subsequent video after this that's going to introduce
Yep.
this program to the average GS Pro user.
My suggestion, both the Stingerier, the God, what's the nickname again? The
Fixer,
fixer,
the shrink.
philosopher, the shrink, and the Kraizzed was for those testing on the SGT side. Give them 3 to 5 things. How was your performance? Did you run into any collider issues? Did the hazards work well? You know, the play stuff, the stuff that we're not going to see when they snap hook a ball or they rope, you know what I mean? They rope hook, double hook, rope hook, and then block a ball to the right.
Sure.
You know, because they need something to measure and then report back into that SGG channel, into that Discord channel and say, hey, of your 5 things, they all work great.
Sure.
Yeah.
No,
That's
I
all we
would
need.
totally agree.
Yep.
And hopefully we can get that done once, we've got a few through end to end, make sure that, everything's working as we hope and as intended. Yeah, then we get it out there and get some people play testing.
Yep. So
but I highly recommend, there's the checklist.
This is the checklist, what you should be doing before. Now we're not going to go through all these, but this is what you should be looking at before you even submit for a beta test. This is not included what you need to do before SGT, which is the next phase after that, right?
Yep.
Correct. Yep.
But these are all the things that you should be going through, and frankly, the testers shouldn't need to find,
Right. Yep. And again, my goal is, once this is fully up and running, all of these are hopefully checked by the designer, and then we can go from there.
Yep. Agreed. Good.
But yeah,
and
highly recommend
it's not
the video.
hard stuff.
If anyone has questions, definitely look at the video if the document isn't good enough, because it's end to end. And if there's questions beyond that, hit me up on Discord. I'm pretty much in there most of the time, so it's pretty easy to find.
Yep. Leave comments if you got questions, feedback. Leave them in the comments of the show here. Ping Kraizzed, ping us. We'll get him to him. All good. We're all part of the process too. Master and I are inside the beta testing admin group, so we'll take that feedback and make sure the larger group sees it. So yeah. Yep.
Perfect.
All right.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I love it. I think, listen, this is needed. And I think if designers would just go through that checklist with their course, honestly, before they then submitted it to beta, what comes into beta will be 85+% of the way there.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, very possible.
Right now, I would say we range anywhere from 50% to 85% in the mix, anywhere in there. I think we need to tighten that down a little bit and get more of them higher quality into beta. Then they'll come out of beta sooner, and they'll get into SGT at a higher level quality.
Yeah. No, like for me, if I had a checklist like this before submitting my first course, I personally think it would be helpful.
I look at this checklist and a couple courses I have in SGT. I don't think they pass.
That's possible. Yeah,
I think I've got to go back and redo some.
Sure. Right. So.
All right.
Good.
What do you think, guys?
But yeah, very good. I appreciate you guys having me on.
No
Yeah.
problem. Thanks for
Good fun.
joining us. Appreciate it.
Oh, anytime.
Love having another friend of the show and someone who actually watches.
I do.
Come join us.
Normally, if it's out Saturday morning, I'll watch it. If it's Sunday, same thing. Morning cup of coffee,
I will
6
admit,
a.m.
I was gonna say I will admit I have gotten the occasional DM in Discord from Kraizzed like on Saturday morning saying I have coffee and no biomes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What are y'all doing?
Yeah, I'm up early and I'm looking for it. So.
Well, this one will be out hopefully for tomorrow morning, so you can have your coffee and watch yourself.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna do.
I don't think I need to do that. Yeah, I was here. I'm good.
I'm gonna do some late night editing tonight.
Good. Well, listen, gentlemen, thank you very much. Kraizzed, thanks for being on with us. We appreciate it. Masta, as always, thank you for all you do and for all of your great feedback.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Everybody,
thanks for joining us, guys.
See you next week.
Good night.
We didn't do bets. We didn't do bets for next week's courses.
Oh.
I don't know. The pressure.
It was a light week.
10.
13.
Yeah. Oh, you son of a bitch! I was gonna say 13.
13, and I'm going back to 2 weeks ago. We had no Pac-Man course today.
Yeah.
We had no Tech Bud courses this week. We had no Run Per Run courses this week.
I'm gonna say 15.
I'm going 13, and I think Golf Boy is going to throw one out there that's going to put me over. So, Golf Boy, get off your soccer team, get back to designing courses.
Crazy, do you want to throw one out there?
I'm gonna go contrarian here. I'm gonna say 9. I'm gonna think it's
no
gonna be a big week.
9 will be like the fewest this year, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it'll be 10 today, but it was really 7. Right?
But technically it was 10. It was full 10.
Technically it's 10. Yeah. No, I'm gonna stay with 9.
Okay.
I think it's
it's a bold move, Cotton. Bold move, Cotton.
I'm going with it.
All righty. Okay. Well, we got them. There. Good call, and that was a nice little catch at the end there. All right.
Yep.
See you, everybody.
See you guys. Have a good night.
Catch you later. Bye-bye.